Brain plasticity, also known as neuroplasticity, is a term that refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt as a result of experience. Welcome to the Internet of Things, Chapter 2. This is Dinwan Jayakrama and let's discuss about this. What is neuroplasticity? Plasticity is the capacity of the brain to change with learning. As you well know, the brain is not made of plastic. Neuroplasticity or brain plasticity refers to the brain's ability to change throughout life. Neuroplasticity occurs in the brain as three stages. First, at the beginning of life, when the immature brain organizes itself. Second, in the case of brain injury, to compensate for lost functions or maximize remaining functions. Third, throughout adulthood, whenever something new is learned and memorized. Let's look at how it works. Age plays as a role. While plasticity occurs throughout the lifetime, certain types of changes are more predominant during specific life ages. The brain tends to change a great deal during the early years of life. For example, as the immature brain grows and organizes itself. Generally, young brains tend to be more sensitive and responsive to experiences than much older brains. Plasticity can occur as a result of learning, experience, and memory formatation, or as a result of damage to the brain. While people used to believe that the brain became fixed after a certain age, newer research has revealed that the brain never stops changing in response to learning. In instance of damages to the brain, such as during a stroke, the areas of the brain associated with certain functions may be damaged. Eventually, health part of the brain may take over those functions and the abilities can be restored. Brain changes are often seen as improvements, but this is not always the case. In some instances, the brain might be influenced by psychoactive substances or pathological conditions that can lead to detrimental effects on the brain and behavior. For a long time, it was believed that as we age, the connections in the brain became fixed and then simply faded. Researchers have shown that in fact, the brain never stops changing through learning. And did you know that when you became an expert in a specific domain, the areas in your brain that deals with this type of skill will grow? Hippocampus. It has a major role in learning and memory. It is a plastic. For instance, London taxi drivers have a large hippocampus than London bus drivers. Why is that? It is because this region of the hippocampus is specialized in acquiring and using complex spatial information in order to navigate efficiently. Taxi drivers have to navigate around London, whereas bus drivers follow a limited set of routes. Can you grow your mind? Is it possible? Research shows that we have the capacity to grow new neurons above and beyond what is generally produced in our hippocampus and to make them become mature and strong within weeks and months. The best way to generate new hippocampus neurons is to exercise. In one of study comparing brains of two groups of mice, the group that was assigned to running, the cat lived in a cage with a running wheel, in it. So it generated far more new neurons in their hippocampus than the group that was assigned to regular cage without a running refill. Other studies have shown that people who exercise regularly and are physically fit have a much bigger hippocampus. The more you walk, the bigger your hippocampus will get. Unfortunately, hippocampus can shrink as easily as it can grow. Some of the ways to quickly shrivel it within months or years include stress, anxiety, uncontrolled diabetes, eating junk food, and concussions. Each of these negative risk factors have been associated with a smaller size of hippocampus and a higher likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease in future. That's pretty much for the chapter 2 video. So hope you all learned something about brain plasticity. I'll see you around.